Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Um, Today we're going to talk about the incubator that I use. I've been using this type of incubator since my second clutch. My first clutch I made an incubator, and I hatched them all out, but after that I picked up a couple of these, and that's what I incubated my eggs in since. At one time I did purchase an incubator from Exoterra, one of the ones that look like a mini cooler. That worked good for one season. The reason I bought that because it heats and cools. Um, it worked good for one season, and the next season it killed a bunch of my eggs because the temperature that it was reading is incorrect. It wouldn't keep a good temperature. So I went back to the hovabator. If you guys don't know what the incubator I'm talking about, I still have it to this day. I just don't use it. It's right here. That's the one that I had probably 12 years ago, maybe 13. Yeah, and I used it for one season. It worked well. Then the next season, I tried to use it again, and my eggs was going bad. But the temperature was reading what I needed to be at. But when I actually put a different external gauge on it, it wasn't matching the temperature here. So I put that in the box, and then I went back to the hovabators. I have about 5 of them now. But the reason I'm talking about these is I want to give you guys the pros and the cons on these. They work very well as long as you have them in a controlled temperature room. So if you have them in a room that stays below the temperature that you want to incubate at, they work well. You could buy them used, or you could buy them brand new. Of course, if you buy them used, you're gonna get a discount. But if you do buy them used, what you want to do is unscrew this part right here. So the screw is actually on top of it. So if you unscrew this all the way, that little circle, let me take this off. You can see that circle right there. Once you loosen this, that circle comes loose, and you can take it off. And I'm gonna tell you why you do this if you buy and use. So if you buy and use, you unscrew that and you shake it like this. And it's supposed to sound like water is inside. If it don't sound like water is inside, this is no longer good unless you get a new one of these. So you put it to your ear and shake it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but you can hear liquid inside of it. And that's how you tell if the hovabator is still gonna work. And of course you can plug it in and see if the light come on. But if the light come on and this is dry, it's still not gonna work. So I'll put that back later. So yeah, that's how you test it to see if it's still gonna work. Another pro to this is if you only got a small collection, maybe like 1 male, 2 females, something like that, this would be perfect and it's not too big or anything or bulky. Put it in the closet with an extension cord and it would be out of the way. All you have to do is make sure the temperature is correct that you're trying to incubate at, and that the room that you keeping the hovabator in doesn't get above that temperature. Because this only heats, it don't cool. That's what most incubators, except for the one I just showed you guys, that one both heats and cools. That's why I thought it was cool. That way, if it gets too hot in the room, it can cool down. If it gets too cold in the room, it can heat up to the temperature that I need. These only heat. So what you're gonna do, that same knob right there, on there it's gonna say increase and decrease, and it depends on which way you spin it. So if you need to get it to a hotter temperature, you go ahead and twist it to the left, which is that way. And if you want to decrease it, you twist it the opposite way. And the way you keep the temperature is you get an external temperature gauge, thermostat, not a thermostat, but a thermometer. And this is similar. I have like 3 or 4 different types. And what I do is I just put this underneath here. This is the part that reads the temperature. And I stick it right in the middle of the incubator. Like that. And then the egg box will be around there. They can sit on top of the cord or whatever. And then I put the reading on here. Right now I have the batteries inside backwards so that actually I have a piece of plastic in here. I usually just turn them backwards, but this year I put a piece of plastic in there so the battery doesn't die when I'm not using it. And then it's going to read the temperature. They got the time and the temperature. Right now it's 73. But what you do is you keep this on, and then if you say you want an 83, right now it's 72, so you would have to twist this to the left to increase the temperature, then let it set, and then you keep doing that until you get it to the desired temperature. But the bad thing about these incubators is, like I said, it doesn't cool, it only heats. I do have a little mini split right there, both heats and cools, but I have it in a big garage. This garage the temperature can change depending on the outside temperature, and once you set this, nobody's gonna change this unless it's a big change. And that's what happened with my last clutch I'm gonna show you guys. And when you have bearded dragons, if you keep inconsistent, if the temperature keeps going up and down while they're incubating, it damages the babies. I have my clutch before this one is from the same pairing, and those ones, if you've been watching the channel, you know what happened with those ones. I forgot to put holes in a container. It's a container like this, and I usually put a hole right here and a hole right here on this side, just a small little pinhole for air exchange. And I forgot to do it on those ones, and the babies hatched out and they suffocated inside of here before I got to them. Now in this clutch, it went from, this is like an extra long summer, but then it went cold and then it got back hot again. So I did never have time to get here and switch this, because when I come over here, it's always at the right temperature. But when I'm not here, it's getting hot and cold. This is kicking on and off, depending on the temperature. I have that set at 80 degrees. But like I said, it's in a big garage, so it's take a while for the temperature to register on the mini split. So this was, on the last clutch, the eggs were going through up and down. And the babies came out, a lot of them came out with kinks in the tails. They may have some with cleft palates as well. I've seen it happen before when the temperatures wasn't steady. The babies could come out with cleft palates, which is the bottom jaw don't develop all the way, and you can see the top of the mouth. It's like an overbite pretty much. But all I've seen right now is some bad tails. I don't know if I'm gonna show you. Actually, I will show you guys. Let me get them out right now. Pretty sure all of them are hatched. I think it was one more egg last time I looked. There's still one more egg. But some of these are good, but I've seen a lot of them with kinks. Out of the way. So I explained about the incubator just to show you guys what can happen if you use these or any other incubator, because most incubators, like I said, they just heat, they don't cool. And if the room temperature is changing a lot, then the incubation temperature is going to change on these, because it's a setting like that. And you just twisting that to get the desired temperature. And then once it's set, it's only set on that. And then if the temperature around it is changing, then it's bad. Like, there we go. See, that one has a bad tail kink. This one looks good. Yeah, make sure I don't have a cleft palate. And the cleft palate, that bottom jaw will be, it don't line up with the top one. Here's another bad one with kinks. And I know it's not the pairing because the ones that suffocated from the same pair, none of them had kinks. It's just a weather change in here, changing the temperature in the incubation chamber. And that's another one with a kink. And I'm most likely just gonna give these guys away, the ones with the kinks. That one has a kink as well. So it's two good. This one's good. The one just came out doesn't have a kink. That one doesn't have a kink. This one's good. This is a 0. It doesn't have a kink. That one has a small kink right there. So with a whiblet, has slight kinkage in there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's barely noticeable. So like I said, yeah, the temperature changed a lot during his incubation and caused that. And the reason I know it's not the pairing is because the previous clutch, the one that suffocated, didn't have any kinks in the babies that hatched out. And if it was from the pairing, then that clutch would have had kinks as well. That one looks pretty good. Just a little whiblet. That one looks pretty good. So there's a couple of them. There's a few of them that don't have kinks or anything. I'm gonna put these last 2 eggs back in there. Hopefully these don't hatch out with any kinks. But let me put these back and then I'll come show you these again. Alright, so let's see how many. So a whiblet. All of them have a little bit of. That one has like a shorter tail. It might have look like some kinks in it. Like right here. This one seems good. A little bit of kinks on the tip of this one's tail. This one seems good. That one's kinked up. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna most likely give those guys away. This one almost has a pigtail, a little corkscrew. Got a few lumps in it, right there. Hopefully it's not in none of these guys' spine. It doesn't look like it. It looks like just mostly just the tip of the tails. That one seems cool. This one seems okay. There's a couple of them that's bad though. So those two right there are pretty bad. This one's pretty bad. And this one got a little attitude. It's a high percentage of visuals though. They go to normals. It's 4 normals or 5, and then we got whiplets and zeros here. This one might be a Wiro. Yeah, I think that's a Wiro right there. This one might be a Wiro. But yeah, this incubator can work well. It just have to be in a consistent temperature room. You can buy them used. Just make sure you check that little dial. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is, but it's a little dial. It has supposed to sound like fluid in it when you shake it. If it's dry, it's not gonna heat. So if you buy used, make sure you check that. Even brand new, they're not too expensive compared to other incubators. But if you can get one used, I'll get it used and just clean it out a little bit. Clean it out a little bit, make sure you check that dial. What else? Try to keep it in the room that's temperature controlled. Like I'm in the garage right now. Sometimes the hat is up, so it changes the temperature in here while I'm in here working, cleaning and stuff. So sun's starting to go down, so the temperature changing again. So that happens as well. So I opened up this garage and it changed the temperature in here, even though that's set on 80. It's set on 80, but when I let this up, it's not gonna be on 80. So the temperature on here is changing as well. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Like I said, the first clutch, I didn't put the holes in it so the baby suffocated. But they hatched out and none of them had any like problems with the tails. They're like fully formed and everything. I forgot to put the holes in it. And these are hybrid to hybrid pairing. My first one. And unfortunately I messed up that first clutch and the second clutch due to temperatures. The second clutch due to temperatures. The first one due to negligence and putting no holes in it. Something I hardly ever forget. Almost never. I think it might be my second time ever in 13 years. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys that this is the clutch that we was waiting for to hatch out. It was hatched out, and unfortunately I have some that are damaged. Like I said, I'm going to grow these out a little bit, and the ones with kinks, I'll probably just give them away. You guys can just pay the shipping. The ones that are not kinked, probably put a lot of size on them. Probably put them, sell them around 12 inches or something like that. I also got to see which ones are Wiros and which ones are just zeros and whiplets. So I'll keep you guys updated on this clutch, and once those ones with the bad kinks are available, I'll let you guys know if you're interested. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something from it. Learn from my mistakes. Until the next video, you guys have a good one. Peace.